Alrighty, g'day guys. Welcome back to Stat Chat Sports. You're here with me, Josh, Tazza, and BT. We're almost at the end of our AFL Season Previews series. Talking about the Brisbane Lions today, BT, and definitely a top four contender.
Oh, I'll tell you why they're a top four contender, Joshy, all right?
Oh, here we go. Straight into it.
Straight into a stat. I've got a stat for you. Straight up. Last three seasons for the home and away games, 28-2. For the last three seasons.
28-2.
28-2.
What do you mean?
Playing at home.
Oh, playing at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they obviously played a lot of games at home during the hub affected
the first COVID
2020 season. Yeah. That is a huge stat. That is a real big advantage for the Brisbane Lions. Tazza, we have them sitting in third as our aggregate stat chat ladder. None of us have them finishing out of the top four. So we're all pretty bullish on the Lions that it's going to be another outstanding regular season for them, and that puts them in the ballpark to try and win a flag.
Yeah, look, they're quite a settled list. There isn't much change this year, and I think we can all kind of see the list is really it's come together. They're almost there. They're so close, and I think that continuity will continue to help them reap the benefits. I think they're just so close, and I mean guys like Cam Rayner coming back finally off his ACL. I think it's a huge boost for them. Another injection of skill and talent into what's an already pretty formidable midfield mix.
Yeah, so talk to us, BT, about that midfield, one of the strengths of the team. I think we've said this about pretty much every team we've got as a top four contender, but it bats deep, doesn't it?
Yeah, Lachie Neale with a full preseason this year as well. That's massive. Jared Lyons, the biggest steal in AFL history.
Unbelievable. Gold Coast Suns, what were they thinking?
You're gonna Cam Rayner apparently is going to be rotating through there. Zach Bailey, Zorko, I'm sure he's going to be playing halfback, but he'll definitely rotate through there. McCluggage, Robinson. It just keeps going. They've got so many players. Barry, yep. So many players that can just rotate through there.
And importantly, still provide a good role and do something else, when they're resting forward. Big concern is Eric Hipwood. Not sure when we're going to see him back, if we're going to see him back this year. Obviously recovering from an ACL injury late in 2021. What are the Lions going to do up forward without him there? Because he is a pivotal part of that lineup.
You're going to have McStay. He's going to just have to pick up his game that little bit. I think he kicked 28 goals last season. So if he can get close to that 40, if not more mark, like my tip in one of the chit chat videos, big Daniher for Coleman.
Yeah, it's one that I did initially agree with, but the more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I'm getting what you're throwing down. Daniher, number one man, and last year, as we said in that video, pretty much kicked a goal in every single regular season match. Very consistent.
Exactly. I was watching the preseason game. He looked like really fit, up and down the ground, playing like he was when he was playing his best. So if he stays injury free, then that's obviously huge. Charlie Cameron, McStay, and Daniher, if they could play all 22 games, then they're obviously going to be right up there.
Taylor, is there a change that you think Brisbane's going to have to make to get over the hump? We've had two really disappointing ends to the season for Brisbane in the last couple of years. We said the same thing on our Port Adelaide video that we've released yesterday, if you haven't checked that out. But a couple of bad losses in deep finals runs. Are they going to have to find a couple of players? Are they going to have to change up their game plan? What's missing here for the Lions?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, they're obviously trying a few little positional changes. Zach Bailey never really spent a hell of a lot of time in the middle, and it sounds like he's going to play predominantly in the middle. I'm not sure whether that's really something that's going to get them over the line, but it's little things, little role changes. Coleman has been touted for a halfback role this season, probably sort of throwing into that defensive mix with Birchall gone. Obviously not the same role, but there's a space there.
I think Coleman also did an injury in the preseason as well.
Yeah.
In the preseason match just gone.
Yeah, and from all accounts, it was looking really good. Really promising in that role. And so it's a real shame for him because I think he was really starting to find his feet in that side. He'd kind of come into the tail end of last year, maybe in the middle of the year. I don't think he played all season for him. So that's a real shame for him. But I'm not sure if really a structure change or anything is really what's going to get them over the line. I think it's just getting over that barrier. I mean,
do you think the experience of the last 2 years is going to make them a little bit more battle tested and ready to go?
Yeah. I think they're really in the same. They're in the same basket as Port Adelaide. Really, they've just got to get over that last hurdle. It's just a battle of mental strength for them. Same as Port Adelaide.
Well, over the last 2 seasons, they've only averaged 69 points for the in the finals. So they clearly need to find a way to score a little bit more in final. I know finals are a little bit lower scoring because the pressure goes up, but 69 points you're not going to get too many wins in finals with that.
It's a good stat there, BT. We like that. Taylor mentioned Coleman. Do you see any other players that potentially could have a role change or have a bit of a breakout season for the Brisbane Lions?
You got Taylor mentioned Zach Bailey as well. So I think he's going to have a huge year. His speed from breaking away from the pack is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't realize how quick he actually was, and he's just improved.
Genuine goal kicker as well.
Yeah. So if he can be a full midfielder that can kick goals, then obviously that's massive for him. Because Lions and Neil, they're not huge goal kickers. They'll pop up for their goals every now and then, but they don't have that genuine midfielder that will kick you 20 goals or so. So if he can do that, then obviously that's a massive tick for him. I like Berry as well. I think Berry will rotate through there. The midfield wing type role. I think he will have a pretty good season. They tried in the preseason. I saw McCluggage was played a fair bit in the guts as well. So they're playing him in the guts and you go and chuck Berry on the wing.
McCluggage, I think, is a guy that, primarily an outside ball user. Yep. If he bulks up that little bit more and gets in there and gets a contested footy, that'll add a real another element to his game. Just not sure if that's what the Lions need, though, as well. I think he's obviously has really carved out a nice role on the wing there, and that's probably the way they want to try and use him.
I think they're trying to find that midfielder, like inside midfielder that can hit a target type. Because Neil and Lions, they win the ball. They're the type of players that will win the ball and get the handball out to these type of players. Because McCluggage, his delivery is one of the best in the league. Not at goals, not when he's kicking for goal. It's one of the worst.
No.
But delivering inside, I think that's where they're lacking a little bit from your pure midfielders. So if a Bailey or a McCluggage can step in there and hit up those forwards, your Daniher, who's going to kick your 70 goals this season.
70?
No, I'm pushing it there. That's exaggerated.
That'd be a huge call. If he did kick 70, he's a guaranteed lock for the All-Australian, BT. You'd have to say that.
For sure.
Any other All-Australian chances you like from the Brisbane Lions?
Oh, they got heaps. Yeah, I think, like I said, Bailey, I think he'll make the 40-man. Charlie Cameron's the best small forward in the comp. I think Daniher will be up there. Neil, Lions, Harris Andrews, Starcevic. I think he's a very underrated defender. He improved hell of a lot last season. There's a lot.
Daniel Rich
as well.
Rich
another one
well.
if he can emulate how he played last season. The McCluggage. He should, even though they don't play pure wingman in the All-Australian, but
and they should. This
should.
is a constant beef that we have here on this channel here at Stat Chat Sports. No, I doubt the All-Australian selectors are listening to us, but I did see Kane Cornes this week.
Mm-hmm.
Not the biggest fan of Kane Cornes, but he does like to hit people square between the eyes. And he said, I'm getting on the panel and I'm going to pick players in their genuine positions. And I love that. I absolutely love that from Kane Cornes. So we want to see more of that here at Stat Chat Sports. Exactly. Be accountable for Australian squad.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just chuck these players wherever.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we've gone off on a rant there. Bringing it back, one of the last things we do like to talk about with every team as part of their season previews is a player under the pump, BT. And you've got one lined up for Brisbane here, I reckon, that is going to need a big year.
So I think Archie, he needs to improve a little bit. He's probably the weakest link he's probably that player who comes in and out. I don't mind. He's a lockdown type small defender, or he can run off halfback as well. So it's hard to pick one with these top 4 teams. But I wouldn't say, I reckon McStay, he's not going to get dropped, anything like that. But for them to get to the pointy end, try and win that premiership, he needs to have that big year. I'm not saying he needs to be up there with Coleman, but he needs to provide a contest, get the ball to the ground if he has to, kick hopefully close to 40 goals. And if he does that, then they're pushing for the premiership.
I think you're on the money. I think McStay is the key, particularly why Hipwood is out. And particularly if McStay needs to play some time as the number 2 ruck for Big O, depending on how they want to balance that lineup, whether they want to bring in Darcy Fort to play a little bit of ruck time as well. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to line up there, but yeah, I think McStay is make or break to the Lions' chances in 2022. Really good call. BT, final call from you. Last words on Brisbane before we wrap this video up.
I think first 10 rounds, they're going to be 9-1 in the first 10.
9-1?
I was looking at their fixtures. They've got Port Adelaide round 1, but at home. So I think they might do Port Adelaide there. And then they've got Sydney and Geelong away. They should have beaten Geelong away last season. They got robbed in that game. Sydney's always tough at SCG, but I think they'll get one of those as well. Other than that, they've got reasonable
9-1.
9-1 after 10 rounds.
That would have them firmly in the mix for top 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And 2 home finals, you got to think that's going to put Brisbane in a good position, particularly given what they've dealt with the last couple of years in finals. They've had those home final chances, squandered them to make a grand final. If Brisbane get 2 home finals this year and don't get it done, I think they've missed their window, in all honesty.
Yeah, completely agree.
If you agree with that as well out there, let us know in the comments. If you're a Brisbane fan and you think this year is the year, we want to hear from you. Make sure you let us know. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more AFL-related content, as well as all sports in general, really. We're pumping out all sorts of stuff on our YouTube, on our Facebook, on all your social media. So make sure you find a way to follow us and keep in touch with Stat Chat Sports. Nice work again, fellas. Good chat. See you for the next one. Cheers.